I'm Marion Hartley.
I'm Roland Smith.
Coming up on the morning program, 3 teenage stars from As the World Turns.
Plus Pentagon whistleblower Ernest Fitzgerald with some shockers about the waste of our tax dollars.
Funny woman Pudgy will be here, and day 2 of Pudgy Mark McEwen's diet.
Plus dining etiquette for executives on the morning program.
Where Wallen Smith steals Vanna White's vowels.
Retired Navy radio man Michael Allen is in the brig in San Diego this morning, charged with spying. He worked for the Navy as a civilian clerk in the Philippines. Authorities say he sold intelligence information to the Philippine police, reportedly to make it easier to do business there. The House Intelligence Committee is warning that a lot more has to be done to keep the nation's secrets secret. The panel says better background checks have to be done when intelligence people are hired, and officials have to be more careful about things like discussing secrets on car phones.
Another chapter in the story of the Dalkon Shield, a birth control device marketed in the early 70s by A.H. Robbins. The company stopped making the shield after charges that it was harmful to women. Today was supposed to be the day that 330,000 women who filed claims against Robbins would find out what the company planned to pay them. But as Ken Pruitt mentioned a moment ago, that deadline has been extended after another pharmaceutical firm offered to buy out Robbins. And that means another delay for some women who've already been waiting 17 years. Erin Moriarty has the background.
This is the product that started the whole thing, the Dalkon Shield. It was introduced in 1970 as a birth control device, but for some women, it worked too well.
Do you have any lasting damage from the...
Yeah, I can't have children. I'm sterile.
There are hundreds, maybe thousands of Kathy Webbers. Their stories and damage claims fill files and boxes in a courthouse in Richmond, Virginia.
While the company that made the Dalkon Shield denies that the product was defective, many doctors say that it was the strand attached so a physician could remove or adjust the IUD that caused an unusual number of pelvic infections.
It was a braid rather than a single fiber. And this braid provided nooks and crannies and almost a ladder upon which bacteria could multiply and work their way up into the uterus.
I was in pain for a long time with it. So I would just sporadically go to doctors for 6 or 8 months, you know, get fixed up and then sort of pretend it wasn't really happening.
In 1974, A.H. Robbins stopped selling the Dalkon Shield, but waited 6 years before it issued a recall.
It's my impression that if the information that we have is true, that there was a time lag insofar as their appreciation of the problem and the time that it became available to us as physicians.
If an individual had behaved in this manner, the individual would probably be sent off to jail. But if a corporation behaves in this manner, it files for bankruptcy.
Which Robbins did in 1985. Having paid out $500 million in damages, Robbins claimed it needed to reorganize to survive. That stopped the lawsuits, but hasn't stopped Robbins from making millions in sales. As for Kathy Weber, her attorney predicts the bankruptcy court will give her half what she might have gotten from a jury, and even that may take years.
They caused all this damage, not just to me, but so many people that even had worse than me.
It's just not fair. It's not equitable. It's not just.
The buyout of A.H. Robbins by American Home Products will further delay any payments to women like Kathy Weber. But in the long run, they may benefit. While neither Robbins nor American Home Products will disclose terms of the buyout proposal, a court-appointed attorney representing victims in the case told us he is pleased by the settlement offer. It apparently is a very large offer.
Except how much longer do these women have to wait? 17 years is such an incredibly long time.
You know, that really is the big thing here. There is still going to be a delay. Each one of these women are represented by their own personal attorneys, many who are not happy with this buyout offer. And the problem is these women don't have time. Some of them, like Kathy Weber, wants to try in vitro fertilization. The chance, well, she can only do that up until the age 40. She has 3 years. If it takes much longer, then her chance of having children are gone. Even if she gets money, she said, there is just no way to compensate her for her loss.
All right, thank you very much, Erin Moriarty. We will be back in just a moment.
Houses come in all shapes and sizes, each one being special in its construction and design. And when a family such as yours lives there, a house becomes a home. Throughout the years, your home is going to require some repairs or some remodeling to maintain its value and comfort. When these needs arise, you'll want to handle them in the best way you know how, by choosing qualified servicemen at affordable prices. But selecting a reputable professional within your price range can be a difficult task. And that's why we designed HOME, a corporation made up of independent maintenance and construction specialists in your area who have a reputation for outstanding work at fair prices. So the next time your home has some housely needs, such as plumbing, electrical work, lawn maintenance, roofing, siding, remodeling, heating, air conditioning, call home and a service representative will make sure your inquiry gets immediate attention. Call home now at 265-HOME.
Special Income Tax Bulletin. Confused about the new tax laws? The new tax laws don't have to break your bank. If you're looking for a guide to the new tax laws, Robert Klein brings you Tax Attack 87. Join Klein as he takes you on an easy-to-understand and humorous tour of the new tax laws.
Straightforward language.
For only $19.95, Tax Attack 87 will help you make dollars and cents of the new tax laws.
Great. Wonderful.
Now available at Major Video in Des Moines.
The power of light may someday be a powerful weapon in the war on cancer. Yale researchers report they have successfully used ultraviolet rays to fight a rare and painful cancer of the immune system. Beams of light activated a drug in the bloodstream without the side effects of chemotherapy. That report in today's New England Journal of Medicine.
In fact, the use of light is just one of many new weapons in the battle against cancer. But despite the best efforts of scientists, we are still far from victory. The disease still causes 1 of every 5 deaths in America. But as we learn in part 2 of tomorrow's War on Cancer, the new treatments could make the difference. Our medical correspondent, Dr. Bob Arnot, is here with the story. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Forrest. In the last few years, scientists have made huge strides in learning just how cancer cells work and how to stop them. That could mean big payoffs ahead and after years of frustration for cancer researchers.
We've had a little bit of success and a lot of failure.
The sad fact is that billions of dollars in research have done little to combat the deadliest forms of cancer. But tomorrow's war on cancer may be far more successful, thanks to a number of remarkable new techniques. One is the use of chemicals that help the body's immune system help itself fight cancer. Already, interferon has been shown to cure a rare form of leukemia, and interleukin-2, or IL-2, has shrunk inoperable tumors. But doctors are finding that the real secret is using 2 or 3 of these drugs at a time. In this kind of multiple warhead approach, one substance may highlight the cancer cell. A second then zeroes in, kills it, and breaks it apart. And the third clears away the debris. Human testing has just begun on this kind of combination treatment.
Because future cancer treatment is likely to require an arsenal of different agents rather than just one, computers like this may play a key role in future cancer care.
The computer programs this pump to dispense precise doses of a variety of cancer-fighting drugs at precise times. First tested on lab animals, it's now being used on human patients at the University of Arizona. In 2 years, some patients may use these devices at home to get the kind of sophisticated drug therapies they can now get only in the hospital. Scientists are also making important advances with substances that act like guided missiles to seek out cancer. The substances, known as monoclonal antibodies, are now being custom-made for the first time. Biotherapeutics in Tennessee is now fashioning antibodies that are tailor-made to attack a patient's own particular cancer cells without damaging their healthy neighbors. Researchers at CBS in California are using computers like this one to help link molecules of powerful poisons to the antibodies to deliver a more potent punch to the cancer.
I think it will be especially good for mopping up small pockets of cancer cells which are hard to get at either by drug therapy or through the surgeon's skill using his knife.
One of the more dazzling techniques is the use of this laser. It activates light-sensitive poisons carried to cancer cells by monoclonal antibodies. Researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital are testing it on mice, using it to zap cancer through fiber optic tubes or even through the skin itself.
You can search out through tissue and find only the cancer cells. That sounds like a fantasy, but this is the kind of thing that can be done if you can make the cancer cell a target to laser light.
Ironically, government cancer research has become a victim of AIDS. That's because dollars and manpower have been diverted from cancer projects to AIDS research. Increasingly, the cutting-edge work is being done by private industry,
looking for therapies that may benefit cancer patients and their own shareholders.
I expect we'll hear a lot more about this coming up in future reports.
We will.
All right, thanks very much, Bob.
You're welcome.
It is now 22 minutes after the hour.
You pour seed and fertilizer, herbicide, and hard work into your corn crop. You could protect that input with just any rootworm insecticide, or you could use Lorsban 15G and get protection from rootworms, as well as cutworms, wireworms, grubs, seed corn maggots, and other insects, and avoid problems with seed safety. This year, get more out of your rootworm insecticide. In conservation or conventional tillage, use Lorsban 15G. It's corn security.
Get up to $1,200 cash back on the Hot Ones from Pontiac. But you better hurry. They're going fast at your Golden Circle Pontiac dealers.
It's time you did something simple to reduce your risk of heart attack. Have your blood cholesterol level checked. It's the easy way to find out if cholesterol could be building up in your arteries, which could lead to a heart attack or even death. Fortunately, it may not be too late to put time on your side. Find out if you need to reduce your cholesterol level. Have your doctor check it and find out what your number means to you.
When it's cold and rough outside, try something warm and creamy inside. Cream of wheat hot cereal and instant mix and eat. Their smooth texture always lets the flavor come through. Two great ways to come in from the cold.
It's the way we set a style, the way we set things right. It's the way we coax a smile, the way we say goodnight. Drinking our kind of coffee, good to the last drop, yeah. Only Maxwell House fresh flavor, tastes like coffee made our way. Only Maxwell House fresh flavor, tastes like coffee made our way. Oh, yeah.
This portion of the CBS Morning News is sponsored by General Foods Corporation. Satisfying your family is what we're all about.
This is the TV8 Morning News, brought to you by M&M Sales. Here's Todd Magel.
Good morning. Light snow now in Des Moines, 31 degrees. Lee County authorities are searching this morning for two inmates who escaped from Lee County Correctional Center in Fort Madison early today. A Correctional Center spokesperson says two men, one charged with theft, the other with probation violation, escaped about 2:30 this morning. Officials don't know where they are or where they're headed. A new study to be released today says the cancer rate downstream of a toxic waste site near Charles City is slightly higher than average, but there is no evidence to link one to the other. The study by the State Health Department also shows no downstream increase in birth defects or low-weight births and no traces of toxic materials in water supplies in nearby areas. The 3-year study will be released later this morning. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says Iowa's cattle industry may be rebounding from a decade of declining herds. The latest cattle inventory shows 4.6 million cattle were being raised in Iowa farms January 1st. That's down 4% from a year ago, though experts say the drop is less than they had originally expected. Livestock analyst Ron Bartlett says Iowa is now holding its own in the cattle industry. House Speaker Don Avenson says the House may consider a plan to increase the state sales tax, but only if protections are built in for middle-class Iowans. Those protections could include exempting utility payments from sales tax or providing a tax credit for sales tax paid by low-income Iowans. Democrats in the Senate say they've already agreed on a tax package which would lower top income tax rates and raise the sales tax by 1 cent. Weather forecast coming up next.
There is a higher intelligence coming to share a wealth of knowledge and powers. Follow your instincts and welcome them. They are known as Minolta Zoom copiers. They transform complex functions into child's play and have remarkable endurance. Bring higher intelligence to your office.
Now at M&M Sales Company, Woodland and Harding Road in Des Moines.
Well, it's back to some real winter weather early this morning with snow falling across much of Iowa. In west central and south central Iowa, accumulations measuring about 1 to 2 inches so far. Many roads in the area are snow covered, so you might want to slow down on the way to work this morning. The forecast for today calls for the snow to taper off into flurries with an accumulation of about an inch, high in the mid-30s, and tonight decreasing cloudiness with a low in the mid-20s. And the snow that's falling now will probably disappear Friday as the sun is supposed to come out. A predicted high near 50 degrees. Currently in Des Moines, light snow. Winds out of the southwest at 3 miles per hour, 31 degrees. Next, news and weather in about 15 minutes.
Next on the morning program, funny woman Pudgy and 3 hot young stars from As the World Turns.
Plus, Pentagon whistleblower Ernest Fitzgerald and Diane Hartford tells us how to be a mogul.
All we need now is you.
Some of the stories we're watching as they develop today. Alleged drug baron Carlos Leder appears in a federal courtroom in Tampa, Florida. Leder is said to be one of the world's top cocaine traffickers. He was arrested yesterday in Colombia, South America. American journalist Gerald Saib expected to be flown out of Iran today. Saib was arrested in Tehran last Saturday, charged with being a spy. And the Senate Foreign Relations Committee continues hearings on U.S. policy towards Nicaragua and U.S. aid to Contra rebels.
President Reagan's birthday is tomorrow, and odds are Mr. Reagan will say he's turning 39 for the 37th time. Actually, Mr. Reagan can anticipate 76 candles on his birthday cake. Last year at a state dinner, the president joked that the tops of his cakes are beginning to look like torchlight parades. Mr. Reagan, who doctors say is in excellent health despite a couple of bouts with cancer, often finds opportunities to use his age as a punchline. The former actor responds to questions about watching himself on the Late Late Show, saying, it's like looking at a son you never knew you had.
And probably enjoying it just a little bit. That is the CBS Morning News on this Thursday. I'm Forrest Sawyer.
And I'm Faith Daniels. You have a great Thursday.
Hello, I'm Dick Terp from Intermark. We are contacting Des Moines area residents regarding the Keyholder program. The merchants' names appearing in this commercial are just a few of the participating businesses. If you have not received your key, call 263-3092 for details. This is not a contest and there is no cost or obligation. Call now.